travel with me.
Hey, fellow humans! Okay, so I'm gonna continue doing the monthly faves thing. Sorren! But, we're taking a break for this month because we have a story time. How I joined a Korean cult. Possibly. I'm still not 100% sure what happened. I don't think I joined, but it makes for a cool title, so that's what we're going with. Side note, I only managed to sneak 3 pictures for this story, and they're all kind of so I'm just going to play B-roll of Sorren being cute in the background because Sorren, she's so cute no matter what she's doing. Right, Sorren? That's my girl. So anyway, this happened last week, so my thoughts are going to be a little scatterbrained because I have a terrible memory, but I'm going to try to remember as much detail as possible. Anyway, so I was just sitting, chilling at my chair, watching YouTube cooling down after I just ran like 3 kilometers back and forth in my apartment. There's really not much room to run, but you know, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Fun! Anyway, I'm chilling, and I hear a knock at my door, and it was, I think 7 or 8 o'clock at night. It was getting close to 8 anyway. I hear a knock at my door, and I'm like, who be this? Maybe it's Gas Lady, and I didn't notice that there was a notice, and she's coming late, although I clearly remember not seeing a notice for Gas Lady. Or maybe it's my book that I have waiting since February. Amazon, get your stuff together. I want my book. I'm pretty sure it's chilling in Incheon, by the way. I could literally just go pick it up. Anyway, so I hear a knock at the door, and I didn't get to the door in time. They're already knocking on another door, so I'm like, oh, it must be important, because, you know, sometimes important things come to my door, even if there's no notice. Anyway, I open the door, and they're like, oh, a foreigner? Yeah. And I'm like, oh, damn. I'm going to need a translator. But, so they're starting to speak in Korean. There's a guy and a girl, an older looking guy and a girl, maybe my age. I don't know, it's hard to tell. She's really short. But anyway, point is, they start talking Korean. I'm like, I don't speak that much Korean. And then so she starts speaking in broken English, and she's saying stuff like, today's a very important day, and I'm very special. I'm very special. This is a very important day. Something about ancestors. And she's Googling on her phone all these things, like, oh, how this only happens once in a lifetime. It's very special. And you're very special. She like repeated that a lot. And I'm like, okay, cool. We'll like keep coming with the, you know, I'm special. Then she asked for a glass of water because, you know, she's talking, she's getting thirsty. So I was like, alright. And I give her a glass of water, and then she asked to come inside. And here's where you could tell I am so trusting. I let them come in, and I just want to take a shower and get ready to go to bed because, like, I got work the next day. And of course, they had to come on a day like I would planned on doing chores like later. I wasn't expecting anyone, so like I had dishes in the sink, and like there's cat fur everywhere because someone sheds like every day. I have to literally clean her fur every day. But it's worth it. So like my bed was unmade because I was like just about to make it, and there's garbage that I need to take out because I just made some garbage that day. So like of course they had to come on like the one day when my place is like not clean. Obviously that's the day someone's gonna come. Anyway, they come in, and they're like looking around like, oh my god, everything's so cool. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like I still don't know why you're here. Is this important? What do you want? And you know what, to this day I still don't know exactly what they want, but we'll get to that. Anyway, so she comes in, and he apparently doesn't speak any English. He's just sitting there like just looking around, and the girl takes out a notepad, and she starts drawing like family trees and stuff, and she keeps mentioning to me like, oh, you're so special, you're like, you can like keep your family line going. And I'm like, I'm just thinking, no, that cat you see, that cat's the end of my family line. My mom's brothers and sisters and their millions of kids, they got it covered. Anyway, so she's drawing all this stuff, and she's like kept going on about ancestors, and again, how it's a special day that only happens once in a lifetime. She's talking about ancestors, and she's drawing on a pad of paper like a table, and then she's drawing like waters, like this represents this, and then she's drawing like candles, and this represents that, and she's drawing like fruits and vegetables and fish, dried fish, and a bunch of stuff, and she's saying what they all represent, and she's saying like, you know, you gotta do this, you do this little thing, and you pray to your ancestors, because it's very important to, I don't know, remember your ancestors or something. I don't know. I couldn't really understand half of what she was saying, but something about ancestors. It was very important with ancestors. So after that, she's like, let's go to the market. And I'm like, market? She's like, yeah, we're going to do the ritual. We can do it here at my office at City Hall. I'm like, are we doing this? And yeah, we do this. And thank God it was payday. But I didn't want to do this, but I just don't know how to say no. It's a problem, I know. I'm gonna work on it. But anyway, so we go to the market, and they're like, what do you like? They're like, okay, like grapes and like this and apples. So we're buying all this stuff and alcohol. I'm not really a drinker, so I was like, okay, well, I can, you know, pawn this off on a friend when we're done. And a dry ass fish thing. And she's explaining everything for the ritual. And we get to the cash, and it's like, you gotta pay for it, because the ancestors will know that it didn't come from the heart if we paid for it. Like, your ancestors, you know, it's got to come from you. And I'm like, okay. Which sucks, because it came to $32 or so. And I'm like, I don't want to pay for alcohol that I don't want to drink and a dried-ass fish. And I already ate food. I don't want to eat all this food. Because she said in the ritual, I'm calling it a ritual, I don't know if it was, but anyway, she said in the ritual we had to eat the food first and then the answer. I'll get to the actual ritual though in a second. Anyway, so I was like, alright, that's like sketch, but okay, I'll go with it. So, well, it's payday. So I paid for the food, we got back to the apartment, and this chick, she whips out like a ton of humbuks from her backpack. If you don't know what a humbuk is, it's a traditional Korean, you know, dress and stuff, and she's like, choose which one. And I was like, oh, we're dressing up and everything. So he puts on one, she puts on one, I put on one. But right before that, in the meantime, they're while I'm choosing the dresses, he's in the kitchen making more dishes, literally using every single dish I own. The next day, the dishes took over an hour to do. But, and he starts chopping off the tops of everything. So, like, you got, like, a tomato, and he just chops off the top of the tomato, and I'm like, now we gotta eat all of that food tonight, because I just spent $35. I don't want it all to go bad. I gotta eat $35 worth of food, and I really don't want to do that. So that sucks. Anyway, they clear off my room. Apparently, ancestors don't like dirt, and to be fair, I don't blame them. And so they're literally, he's like mopping my floor with like, what do you call it in English? Water, tissue, little wet wipes, yeah. So he's like scrubbing my floor clean, like literally with multiple tissues, and then he cleans the desk. My TV is on, and just like completely clear. And then they put like the bowl of water in the middle, and the dried fish, and then all the vegetables, everything. No, they're fruits. But anyway, they put them all that's cut, everything cut, and we opened packages of moon pies, and they had to open them. This is such a waste. And then they put candles at the end of the table. They came prepared, man. Like, they had candles, and they lit the candles, and we had incense, and then we got dressed up, and then she showed me how to do the thing where it's a bunch of bowing. It's like, you take one step to the right and do a bunch of bowing. You take like 4 steps to the left and do more bowing, and a couple more to the right, and then you go back to the left, and basically we face the bookshelf and then bow to it. I'm assuming it was not the bookshelf we were bowing to, but the direction, I don't know, ancestors. And so after that, the ritual starts, and so I'm in the back, and they're doing a bunch of singing and chanting, and then while I'm doing it, she's telling me to take off all my jewelry, because apparently ancestors don't like jewelry. I don't know. So, which sucks. And then eventually she's like, take off your glasses, and I'm like, I can't see shit. I'm blind. So I take off everything. I'm so trusting. I take off everything, and we're bowing. My knees hurt for days, by the way, after this, because it's up, down, up, down, up, down. I'm sure I did quite a workout that night. and then there's singing and chanting, and then they take they have on the glass door thingamajigger back there, they had like this big piece of paper with like, I don't know, sutras, some sort of writing. I can't tell if it was Korean or Chinese because I'm blind without my glasses, but they taped it up, and then they took it off the wall and they said some chants, and we sat on the floor, and they put it in my hand, and it stained my hand for days. I did take a picture of that, the stain, at least not the whole ritual thing. And then they put it in my pot. My pot was on fire. I had a fire in my pot in my room. Pot cleaned really nice though, so it's okay. But I did see that without my glasses. I saw a fire in my pot. Yay! And then the ritual was over. We changed back into regular clothes, and then by the way, the whole time we're doing this to like pray for your ancestors and make a wish because it's a very special day, once in a lifetime. And then we ate the food. We didn't eat all of it. By the way, the alcohol, he took it and he poured basically the whole bottle, and he would like wave it over everything and pour it into another cup and then pour more out. So it's like, oh no, I just wasted a bottle of alcohol that I don't even want, but now I can't pawn it off on someone. Anyway, so we eat the food, but then there's still food left, and then she's like, I'm gonna call you tomorrow and ask if you had a dream about your ancestors. I don't really want that, but like, okay. And yes, I did give my number, but I did change their number to cult people in my phone, so I knew when they called. But anyway, when they were leaving, they took all the food that I paid for with them. So yeah, I guess I fell for a scam. I think it was a cool, fun Korean experience because it is an actual ritual to ancestors. I've heard of it. She said the name, but like I don't remember it. And I looked it up, but I don't know, that specific day if it really had to do anything with it. But yeah, they took all my food, my $35 worth of food, which like fine, I didn't want the dead fish, and fine, I didn't want the alcohol, but I like tomatoes, I like apples and grapes. That stuff ain't cheap. And yeah, so they took that, and yeah. So that's my story time on how I may have joined a Korean cult and maybe summoned demons. Who knows? I don't know. They never told me exactly what they were doing going door to door. Now I don't know what they would have done if a Korean person answered the door. Who knows? It's a mystery to this day. And they did call me, but I didn't answer. Although I didn't have dreams of my ancestors, and if I did, I honestly wouldn't know what they look like because I don't know what. I barely know some of my family members who are alive what they look like because they live in other provinces. So yeah, let that be a lesson to me to say no, and that I'm busy and can't entertain you and spend all this money, and you take my food and leave my place in a mess. So I hope you enjoyed this video of me being stupid, because yay! And at least you got to enjoy some really cute Sorren videos in the background. I got some really cool stuff for next month's monthly fads. Also, next weekend, this bad boy is getting inked, although by the time this video is up, it'll probably already be another session. And then, and then another week after that, another 2 weeks, sorry, I get the final session. So probably by the next time you see another video from me, this beautiful bad boy will be finished. And if you haven't checked out my artist, Sen Irazumi, here's his stuff. Be sure to follow him on Instagram because he's freaking awesome. And even if you aren't in Korea, it's just great to see his work. So hope y'all are staying safe, take care, and I'll see you next time. Peace!